Holy wall, we're doing it. This is where Mr. Jingles lived. Well, here we are inside the farmhouse, just like I promised in my last video when I said I was gonna take you in and show you what's going on. That's what we're gonna be doing here today and in quite a few episodes going forward. We've got a lot of projects to do, and I had thought about starting a second channel dedicated to work in and around the farmhouse, kind of some home improvement type projects. Now, I reached out to some very experienced content creators. I reached out to you directly and indirectly, and the people have spoken, and you said don't start a second channel, just add this content to your current channel and we'll watch. So I hope you do. We're going to be doing a lot of interior work, some outside work, and you're also going to continue to see the same outdoor content that a lot of you came here for, which was the tractors and work around the property. It's just that now we're going to start doing some inside work as well. Now, I'm going to call these segments Farmhouse Adventures. It's kind of a channel within a channel, and that way if you see that title and you don't like that particular type of content, you can skip right over it. But I do hope that you'll stick around and enjoy it. So welcome to the first official episode of the channel within a channel, Farmhouse Adventures. So if you're brand new to the channel, welcome. If you've been following for quite a while, you know that we just purchased this old farmhouse on 33 acres. And this is a 1880 farmhouse. It's had additions added over the past 40, 50 years, but the basic part of the house is right here. And it's missing one of the components that I think every old house should have. And that's either a fireplace or a wood stove. Now, obviously it had a wood stove in the past. That was the only means of heat they had back then. So it has two chimneys, one on the north end, one on the south end. The chimney on the north end has been used for the oil-fired boiler. So I can't do anything with that because you can't have two fuels running through the same chimney. So we're going to leave that one dedicated to the boiler. But behind me and behind this wall is an old abandoned chimney. It has been used in the past maybe 15, 20 years, but it's back there. The previous owners covered it up. They built this fireplace this mantle that looks like a fireplace. So we're going to open this up, open this wall up, raise this up, do some brickwork on the floor, and put a wood stove right here. Pretty centrally located, so I hope it does heat the house. But I've not had a wood stove because we had a modern day rancher before this, and I just always wanted a wood stove. Now people tell me wood stoves are smelly, they're dirty, they're messy, they're a lot of work. I know that, but I've got to have the experience. Plus, we've got 30 acres of woods back there, basically free heat. So I'm looking forward to the challenge of installing the wood stove and then the joy of having one. So this point forward, let's just get to work. So the chimney is behind this wall. In fact, I cut a little square out just so I could see what we're dealing with. And it's about 8 inches back there. It's from here to about here. So this part of the wall here is just a cavity, kind of wasted space. So we're going to take all this out, expose the chimneys, which is going to give us 8 inches more of room space, which is actually significant in an old house like this. And then back here where the faux mantle fireplace was put in, it's very pretty, but again, it's not historic. It was done, I think, in the 1980s, but it looks like some old reclaimed wood. So we're going to save that, but I'm going to take the wood off, and then we're going to bring this up all the way to the ceiling, just like it used to be, and this will be the place where we'll set the wood stove. So at this point, I'm just going to start taking down the wood, and we're going to start taking down drywall. Here we go. First piece removed. Well, here's the fully exposed chimney. We've got 3 sides available. You can see back in the day, they had a stove going into the front here, probably a little old potbelly stove at the time. So we're going to go into the side instead of the front, so we've got to do some work there. Probably chip off some of this old concrete and expose the brick. But it looks really cool, and I'm excited to see it. There's some of the old second floor boards up there, and everything's in, you know, it's in old house condition. What can I say? It's not bad though. You know, one thing about working on an old house project, or really any project for that matter, as long as you don't have plans and an architect involved, and when you're kind of winging it like we are, is that your plans can change, and that's exactly what's happening here. Now, initially we talked about putting the wood stove in this nook area here, but now after seeing it opened up and kind of getting a feel for it, what we're thinking is close off this kitchen entry door, open that area up over there. There's this half brick wall, which really serves no purpose whatsoever. Looks kind of cool, but it's loose, and I think we just need to take that down. So open that up, make that the kitchen entry, close this off, put the wood stove in this front corner of the house. That way we're not really encroaching on as much of the room. So we think that'll make sense, and that's the plan as of now. So I appreciate you watching today. I hope that this was a good introduction to you, and I do hope you'll come back, because on the next episode I should be working on the hearth area. I picked up some bricks and I laid them down just to kind of get a visual about what we can do. So I'm figuring that out at this point and how we're going to do that. So stay tuned for that. I really appreciate you watching, and I hope that you will join us on our next farmhouse adventure. You know, one thing about working on an old house, really any house, you know, one thing about working on a project, you know, one thing working, come on already.